This is our buddy Mario.
Hello!
He likes to go to the park, swing on the swings, and go down the swirly slide.
Yippee!
Mario also has a massive line of video games, and I mean massive. If you are watching the video right now, there's almost a guarantee you played a Mario game before. But how many Mario games are there? Nearly 1,000, including ports. And don't even get me started on the board games. Mario is now a giant icon in the world today, but most people do not know the absurd history of games this paisano has under his belt. Starting this coming New Year's, however, I will be taking on the challenge of completing every single one of them, including the re-releases. Now, hold on, how possible is this? In fact, what are we classifying as a Mario game? With the list I made for literally the past year, I am defining a Mario game as a produced game, digital or physical, or software made, published, or licensed by Nintendo that features a Mario franchise character with significant or entire involvement. Now, you could probably find some loopholes within this definition to add some more obscure titles that may have been missed, but joke's on you, I already plan on playing that game, and all of its other varieties. Actually, I probably should talk about that now. So say when Super Mario Bros. Was released for the Famicom, that is the Japanese release and the initial release. When it came overseas to the NES, that is a regional release. If the game code was moved and retranslated to another console like the Famicom Disk System, that is a port. If the game in its untranslated code was added to another console via emulation or other means, then it is a re-release. If there is a build of the game that exists before the initial release of the game, that is a prototype or beta. For this challenge specifically, I am playing every version of what was just listed except for the regional releases. Kinda. Regional releases usually translate and localize the text of the game so that people in the region can better understand and enjoy the game, and the exceptions to this rule will be if the game in one region has major differences compared to another region outside of text translations and localizations. For example, I will play Luigi's Mansion in the NTSC and the PAL region separately because their hidden mansion modes are set up differently from each other, especially with the treasure spawns. Whereas with Mario Party 6, where the initial release in Europe has a swear in it compared to the American release, then I will only play the game in my region, that being the USA. I will also play each game on their most recent revision and update patch available because I want to experience it the way it was last offered to the public. On top of that, when I cover prototypes, I will only play the ones that have major differences to the released build, similar to the original rule. In Hotel Mario's prototype, there is less music and it uses cut audio, so I will be playing that. In Mario Party 3's prototype, it is indistinguishable from the final build, so I will not be playing that. I will also cover leaked prototypes for games that were cancelled during development or simply went unreleased, such as Super Mario's Wacky Worlds for the Philips CDI. I also intend on playing games that a Mario IP was slapped onto, such as Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, which was the game that was reskinned into Super Mario Bros. 2 in the US, because Japan thought the Super Mario Bros. 2 in their region was too hard for Americans. Then there are games that were planned to be a Mario game, but due to internal issues, they place another IP onto the game instead, such as what happened to Croc Legend of the Gabos, which was planned to be a 3D Yoshi platformer for the Nintendo 64. Now that was a bit of a complex explanation for my rules pertaining to what a Mario game is, but now you can effectively look at my spreadsheet and not be as surprised when you see some strange oddity in the list. In fact, you can find my full spreadsheet for this list of games in the description below. And on top of the marathon, which will be streamed spontaneously on this channel, I plan to write summary videos on each game I play. That way, there will be a chronology of the entire Mario franchise that details everything the internet currently knows. If you want to join me as I embark on this journey, consider subscribing. This will indicate to me that there are people interested in this as much as I am, and it will motivate me to keep going through the challenge. And if I upload something not related to the challenge, which I have plans to, consider it a bonus on the channel for subscribing. If you came from one of those videos, then I'm sorry. Anywho, I hope to see you all in the future, and have a super day.